testimony to them and to the Gentiles. The Gentiles, the Romans, will also persecute you. Every hand will be against you. When they hand you over, do not worry about how you are to speak or what you are to say. This is about how Jesus was handed over by the Sadducees to the Romans, and they will be handed over. The disciple will follow the path of their master, and they too will be killed for the cause. When they hand you over, do not worry about how you are to speak or what you are to say. For what you are to say will be given you at that time. However eloquent you are, you may be a fisherman, you may be a peasant, the Holy Spirit will give you the power to speak the gospel. Brother will betray brother to death. Families will be broken up, Roman and Jewish. Somebody became a Christian, he'd be thrown out. And a father his child, and a child will rise against parents and have them put to death. And you will be hated by all. Jews, Gentiles, everyone will hate this new movement because of my name. And Matthew's day, this was so. But the one who endures to the end, he's giving advice to the people who in his own day, Matthew is saying, stick with it, boys. It's like the book of Daniel. We're rebelling against the Syrians. We Jews, stick with it and we'll win. The one who endures to the end will be saved. When they persecute you in one town, flee to the next. For truly I tell you, you will not have gone through all the towns of Israel before the Son of Man comes. Now that is one of the times in Matthew where he leaves in this expectation of Jesus' return very soon. Maybe not day after tomorrow, but by the time you've gone in your tour throughout the whole country, Jesus, or the Son of Man, he speaks in the third person. Does he mean himself? Maybe. Matthew certainly understood it as Jesus. Will return. Now Matthew takes some of the urgency out of that. Mark says he's at the very gates. But Matthew, it's 15, 20 years later, he realizes may not be day after tomorrow, but he will come soon. Luke is the one who puts it off for generations. When they persecute you in one town, etc., before the Son of Man comes, you will not be able to go on your whole tour until he comes. A disciple is not above the teacher. So what I suffer in my passion, you will suffer. Nor a slave above the master. It is enough for the disciple to be like the teacher. You will suffer like me. And the slave like the master. And those 12 boys were largely, they went to death, testifying to Christ. And the slave suffers like the master. If they have called the master of the house Beelzebul, that is Satan, what they just said, you cast out demons by the prince of demons, how much more will they malign those of his household? You must be prepared, O my fellow Jewish Christians of the late first century, Matthew is saying, to go through persecution from the Jewish authorities, from the Roman authorities, from everybody, but stick with it, boys, and you will ultimately achieve glory, even if it's through death and suffering, as Christ did. The tribulation of the early church, which goes on. We see in ISIS, what they do with Christians, Communist China, Soviet Union, now defunct, thank goodness. I mean, all these terrible, but it's easy to be a Christian here. We shouldn't compliment ourselves that we're Jews and Christians in America because it's so easy. But in those places where people give their lives for it, those are the people Matthew's talking to. Okay, we continue next week.